Hello and good afternoon, ladies, gents, boys and girls, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We've come back to the old sim just because Microsoft 2024 has some issues that makes it on my system slightly unflyable. We'll get more to that into the flight. I'll speak more about why I'm having some problems. But today we're here at San Francisco as JetBlue 434 operating service from San Francisco to Boston. We're in the Fenix A321 CEO with the IAE engines. We're going to be cruising at 330 initially, cost index of 15. We're going to be taking 194 passengers over to Boston. Weather here is really nice. Over in Boston, not so much there, having a bit of a storm, so it'll be interesting when we get down there. So, without further ado, we'll jump into the flight deck and get this flight set up. Hello and welcome into the flight deck. So, let's get the batteries on and the external power, and do the rest of our Airbus flows as well. Get the IRSs on. And we'll get some lights on as well, and that'll be okay. See overhead panel complete. So let's have a look at the flight plan on my iPad. So we're departing off 01 right and arriving on 04 right into Boston. Flight time's going to take us roughly 5 hours today. Just go to the sim settings. Let me link up my, there you go, my barrier ref. So let's go into ATSU and get the flight init request. As the Airbus does its self-tests, and request the flight plan. And that is the flight plan. So we're JetBlue 434. Cost index today is going to be 15, and we're cruising at 330 initially. And the departure today is going to be off one right on the Nitty 4 via Trope. We'll insert that. And the arrival into Boston, we'll put this in. ILS 4 right on the J Funds 2. That's via Onct. And gosh, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so that's the flight plan all sorted there. We'll go into constraint and then to plan mode, and we'll have a look. So we're going to be departing here up to Tripe, right hand turn. Everything looks okay there so far. And then descended into Boston, straight over the airport on a downwind leg, and then come back in. Lovely. Okay. So the stop altitude of the SID is, we'll put 6,000 for the moment. Let's have a check of the charts though. So via Tripe, yeah, that's fine. Flight level 190, so 19,000 feet. Plug that in. While we wait for the IRS to align and the aircraft to be loaded. So let's go through the flight plan then. Well, actually, first I'll go and get some fixtures. KBOS, and we're at 5. KBOS again, 10. And the next one will be 115. So the flight plans, we're going to be taking off northerly or easterly off of runway 1 right, then going straight over the city centre of San Francisco. Rebus, we're going to make a right-hand turn over to Pleasant Hill, and then over the whole of America, just south of Chicago, and into Boston. And we'll get the weather for KSFO here as well, and we'll just accept the load sheet. And the weather here is, yeah, very nice. Nothing to worry about, really. The weather at the moment is gusting 25 down in Boston, so if it's still like that, it might make for an interesting arrival. Right, guys, I'm going to quickly jump out, and I'll jump back in when we are ready for pushback, because everything's really done. So let's get the pushback sorted now. So everything's loaded in, the box is all filled in nicely. We got the takeoff speed is going to be Toga, flaps to, packs on. That's everything, really. It's nice to find the Airbus, it's a simple aircraft.
Cockpit to ground.
Pushback, so we'll request it.
Ground, stand by.
This San Francisco scenery, it's by, I don't know, is it Flight Beam? Really good scenery. It's actually really good on performance. They did an update and fixed it. It's brilliant on performance now. It's really nice. And then when we get to Boston, the scenery is going to be Fly Tampa. Get the door closed.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Engine 2 to 1. So there's engine 2 starting now. And there's the starter motor, as you can hear. It's going to start turning the fan blade shortly. And there you go, there's engine number 1 has started nicely, or 2, sorry. We'll start engine number 1.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Ground. You may disconnect.
Okay, sir. Cleared to disconnect. Pin has been removed. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Engine number 1 is starting nicely now. Lovely. So we'll wait for the engine to become available, and then we will get the rest of the aeroplane ready for taxi. There's the bus transfer over. So APU bleed, APU start switch, taxi lights on. We'll turn the start switch to off, flaps go to position 2, we'll go flight control, we'll trim to up 1.2. just get my throttles config. Lovely. And flight control check. So flaps are down, everything's ready. So we'll go full right, full left, full forward, full back, full left on the rudders and full right on the rudders. All flight controls are free and correct. Release the parking brake, add a couple of notches of thrust and taxi on. So we're going to go this taxiway on the left, and we're going to do I think it's Alpha, which is the taxiway that takes you round runway 1 left and taxi onto 1 right full length. Just to double check, there you go. So we taxi on this taxiway here, and then we'll be using the Alpha, which is the one that takes you round the runway, just to make sure we're on the correct runway. Or taxiway, sorry. So just quickly on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, I don't know if it's because I got the Steam version, but my textures don't load in aircraft properly. It takes ages. If I switch to a camera view like a wing view, I load back in and it takes about 30 seconds to load stuff into the aircraft so it's fully textured, and I just find that highly unacceptable. So I'm going to leave it for a bit until December 8th, or is it 9th, when they bring out their update. Hoping that update is going to address some major problems, but if not, it might be a bit of a while before we start doing regular 2024 videos. If you guys are flying on 2024, let me know how your experience is going in the comments below. I'd like to see what you guys think so far of the new sim. I'd also like to hear how you fix some of the problems. I've had a couple of problems, not too many though. It's just mainly the loading of the aircraft, and the scenery. I did a flight in the Airbus, and I was coming into land at Ibiza, and there was absolutely the scenery it looked like something from Infinite Flight on your phone that I used to fly a long time ago. It was ridiculous. So that put me off flying 2024 for a while. Instead we'll just fly 2020, because we've got the Flight Factor 777 Freight coming out soon, which will be interesting. I'm excited to fly that. And the MD-11's got an update. I flew that the other day, and I really enjoy the MD-11. It's a fun aeroplane. So yeah, I've also tried the Fenix in the sim. The Fenix flies quite nicely. It's just the loading of the textures and stuff when you get close to the ground. It really does ruin the immersion. I'd rather just fly 2020 until it's all ironed out. I'm in no rush to leave 2020 anyway, because I really enjoy the sim. Might actually jump into some X-planes soon if you guys are up for that as well. Well, let's get all the lights on. Get ready for departure. Here's one right. That stutter is because the lights are coming up. I need to try and find a way to fix that. It's really annoying. Anyway, this is the runway here, and as you can see off to the right, you've got the runoff section. Really nice texture as well on the runway, that grooved runway surface. So, let's pull them up. Stable. Set toga. Mantoga SRS, runway nav blue auto thrust. And keeping centre line. 100 knots neutral. B1. And rotate. Those wheels coming off the ground now. Lovely, positive right, gear up. Now. right-hand turn. Thrust climb, climb. Autopilot. Flaps 1. And there's San Francisco. That's not San Francisco. San Francisco's just off to our left in a second, isn't it? Accelerating quite nicely now. Approaching the clean speed. Listen to that engine, really nice. And there's our left turn. Runway flaps clear. Takeoff checklist has been complete. We go through 3,000 feet. We're clean. Everything looks nice. And there is San Francisco. Look at that. Brilliant. How nice that looks. Really nice. And actually that doesn't look too bad, does it? That looks really nice with the Golden Gate there and everything. Brilliant. Just set the camera views. I don't know why the IAE engine's not set properly. That looks nicer. Try and get a thumbnail if you can. Beautiful. Right, now we're well on our way. So what I'll do now, guys, I'll leave you some climbing cruise highlights, and I'll see you in about 4.5 hours when we're descending into a very stormy Boston. Welcome back into the sim. 4 hours and 35 minutes later, we began our descent into Boston, and everything's looking good so far. The weather has died down a bit. It's temporarily gusting 20 to 25, but it's died down a bit, and it's only 10 knot wind now, but it could still be gusty. It's not too bad though. Weather's still a bit crap down there, rainy with low cloud, but nothing we can't handle. Apart from that, everything's okay. Flight's gone nicely, very uneventful. So let's see if we can land it into Boston. It's gone really dark. Won't be able to see much until we're below this cloud. We're just stuck right above this thick layer of cloud at the moment. I'll get some anti-ice on as well, just in case we are going through the cloud. In a second, because it is really cold outside. So on the charts as well, we'll try and land, we'll just get off the quickest taxiway as well, because we're landing on 4 right. And the sun's still setting behind us. Oh, we'll just make sure that the ground, yeah, so it's still on. We'll go down to, just double check. I think it's 6,000, isn't it? The downwind, yeah, 6,000 hard, 6,000 foot. Okay, that's fine. So we'll plug 6,000 in now. The aircraft is descending on path quite nicely as well. It keeps getting a little bit ahead of itself with speed, but at the moment it's quite okay. So we're going to go straight over the top of the airport basically, come back around on our sides, and we can see the city below us a little bit now. It's still quite hazy, and there's that big thick layer of cloud right directly in front of us. I wish we did have a little bit of a weather radar. I wish Phoenix adopted the PMDG route, and even though it's not a realistic weather radar, just give us the one that works, just so we can see what's in front of us really, because I'm flying a bit blind into this. I'm sure it's okay, but I think the probe heat on now as well, just in case. The landing system on both sides now as well. QNH is still 2934 down in Boston, so it's quite low. I was going to do this to JFK, but we haven't been to Boston in a very long time, and I wanted to show off the San Francisco scenery as well. Yeah, but I don't think, have we ever been to Boston? I've flown into Boston quite a few times, so I really like the flight time. So, we did a video a couple of months ago in the MD-11, didn't we? We flew from Milwaukee to Boston in the MD-11. That was it. I think that's the first time we've ever been here. That's a brilliant scenery by Flight Tampa. I think when we get the 777 freighter as well, I think the first thing we'll do with that is some operations out of Anchorage, Ted Stevens. Oh, current bandwidth is too low. It's like we're back on 2024. No, I think that should fix itself in a minute. Just watching our speed now. It's getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. Just double check we're still on photogrammetry, yep, which we are. Get the probe heats and anti-ice off now as well. It's warm enough. Things going okay so far. 220 knots, slowing it down just because I managed the speed a little bit. The Fenix 321 with the sharklets does get a little bit slippy sometimes, so I'd rather be a bit slower and extend the approach a little bit than get ourselves in a little bit of trouble later when we have to start configuring flaps, gear and etc. Getting really good frames though. The only problem I have with 2020, and it still happens on 2024, and I really do not know why, it doesn't happen in X-Plane, it's never happened in X-Plane, but every time I land in any aircraft, I get a massive stutter right on touchdown. It's like a pause. It must be loading in something that I don't know about, but I've got all my traffic down to zero, I've got everything down to zero to stop this stutter, and it still does it, and it always does it in the Fenix, and the iFly. In the 777 it doesn't, and sometimes in the 73 it does. But always when I fly the Fenix and the iFly 737 MAX, you get a really harsh stutter on landing. And if you guys know how to fix it, I'd be really appreciative, because I've looked on every forum, I've changed every setting, I've deleted files, added numbers to files to try and stop this stutter, but it never seems to stop. But it's flyable, and that's the only criticism I have about 2020 really. It must be a Microsoft thing, there must be something loading in the background, like variables when it lands. It must be trying to calculate something that I don't know about. So we'll get the weather update again. So weather's fine. Looks alright. 8 degrees. Everything looks okay. Start descending a bit faster now. We'll go flaps 1, and we'll have a look if we can go direct in a second to that waypoint. There's the wing, extended flaps on, slats, sorry. We'll go to 210 now. Get some wing anti-ice on because we're getting straight through this cloud. There's the wing light, but it causes major frame problems, this wing light does. Turn it off, it's a bit overdone. Keep it back there. Slow that descent down a little bit. We'll go direct to Winnie. We'll insert that. And the aeroplane's going to turn us around onto final. There's the ground below us, just so the cloud there. We're at 190 on the speed, flaps position 2. I know we're probably a little bit early, but like I said, I want to just get the aircraft configured. Go down to 3,000 feet as well, which is our go around. And there's flaps 2. Engine's spooling up a bit there. So localise and glide at the same time. Look at that, you can't teach that, can you? Brilliant. I'll just double check. Our approach is 3,000 get around. We're about to go through 3,000 as we're on glide. And we're right in the thick of that horrible weather, aren't we? No sight of the ground below either. There must be like a big cell over the airport, just like a cloud base. But the airplane's nicely sat at 190.
2,500.
2,500. That's checked. Everything's stable at the moment. Flap tubes out, keeping us nicely on glide. Get down to 170. And there's the ground below us finally. Right, so we go gear down, speed brakes armed, taxi light and runway lights on, flaps 3, speed can go into managed speed mode. And there's full flaps. So, fully configured, stable, nice and early, so I better get comfy in my chair, ready for this landing. And that looks really nice down there actually with all the lights. So I'll probably disconnect a bit earlier today if we want to do some hand flying. So when we get visual, because we will shortly I believe, we'll disconnect, do some hand flying. That's really nice scenery down there actually. And there's the runway coming in sight. So, disconnect, let's do some hand flying. My aeroplane. So the wind has calmed down nicely, bit of rain in the air. Right over harbour as well. And that weather does not look nice at all, does it?
100 above.
Minimum continue.
Light slow. Light slow. Light slow.
That's a bug. We're bang on glide.
30, 20, retard.
Hold it there. And that's that stutter I was talking about. It's only when I'm in the Phoenix. But down we are. That was a really nice landing actually. Speed brakes up, reverse green, decel. We should hit the exit we want here. Brilliant. Welcome down to Boston. Taxi off left here. Flaps and spoilers in now. I don't know what runway this is. We're going to taxi onto a runway. So we'll keep all the lights on. And that was quite successful. So as soon as you taxi off this runway here, we'll turn left, and it's actually, luckily, the shortest taxi to the terminal that JetBlue park at, which is quite nice. Everything went quite well. Right, so taxi straight here. I've been looking at the chart, see where we're going to go. Taxi straight here, and it's the first sort of terminal on the right hand side. Can't really miss it. Is this the first time flying JetBlue as well on the channel, or no? I think no. We did a 320 for Cancun, didn't we, from New York? Okay, so we have flown JetBlue before. And it was the first time flying from San Francisco to somewhere. If you guys have got any route requests you want me to fly with specific aircraft and sort of where you want me to go, please let me know in the comments below. I'm more than happy to accommodate flights from you guys. Makes it more interesting for me. Get to fly to different places I wouldn't usually want to fly to. So it's that terminal right in front of me. You can't miss it because all the air bridges have JetBlue on them, so that makes it easy for me to see. And we'll go for the one right at the very end. And that'll do me quite nicely there. We'll have this stand C17. That will do. So that's the only problem, like, look how smooth the frames are and smooth the sim is, but every time I touch down, I have that horrible stutter. It just ruins it a little bit. So I mean, I thought that was quite a soft landing, but because of the stutter, it made it seem really hard. And we'll call it a day there. APU's on, so we'll set the parking brake. Engine number 2 can come off, and we'll get the seatbelt signs off. APU bleed on, dome light on, beacon light off, and welcome down to Boston. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video in the JetBlue A321 from San Francisco to Boston. If you guys did enjoy, please like and subscribe. If you guys have got any flight requests for me, please don't hesitate to pop them in the comments below. I believe the next video will probably be in the MD-11 or X-Plane 12, depending on how I'm feeling. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all again very soon in the next video.